The most recent polls conducted by the Muskogee media regarding the requirements for National Council and the blood quantum showed that 14% was interested in and felt like blood quantum requirement was very important. By the response of the candidates who are seeking office, this election indicates we have a fair representation in all the districts of citizens who meet the blood quantum requirement. Therefore, I would not support removing the blood quantum requirement. Blood quantum was second only to education and experience, which the survey showed had 71% of interest of the citizens that responded to the poll. Maybe a better representation of how the people feel would be to do a survey out in the communities where the people live. Communication and transparency are vital to any organization. This is where education and experience is important. Transparency is critical, but trust, I think, in your elected officials is even more so. That is why voting in our elections is so important, because it's always easy to sit back and criticize and complain, but if you don't vote, then that was your choice. By voting, by looking at all of the candidates, looking at their experience, looking at their education, then you are putting your trust in that individual to look at all proposals put before the council, and the council members that are on those committees are placed on there because of their background, because of their education and their experience. And so transparency is critical, is vital, and I believe that the people, by attending your council meetings, that's the best way to get information on the decisions made by the Creek Nation. I do understand the frustrations of the at-large citizens. I myself have lived out of the jurisdiction and experienced times when I had a need that could not be addressed simply because our programs follow rules, regulations by the funding agencies, and I understand that. But that doesn't address the needs of our at-large citizens. I've always thought and have discussed in the past with previous council members that there needs to be a way to designate funds that aren't tied to those rules and regulations of the funding agency, say HUD or HHS for child care, but to develop a plan where at-large citizens who have needs, emergency needs, can be addressed. And that can be done by designating funds for services and then giving those funds to the agencies or to the programs who already have the infrastructure for these services. Let them use their application process, their eligibility, their everything they already have set in place to provide these services and to meet the needs of at-large citizens. Free press, that is it goes back to transparency. As a tribe, I know that our media, Muskogee media, is funded by the tribe. And so therefore that's the thinking that, well, then we should have, or the nation should have a say-so in what is covered and how it's covered and what's reported. However, if you're wanting transparency, you also have to agree that free press is critical to getting information out that the citizens want. And so why not allow the citizens to vote for an amendment for free press? Well, my personal opinion, and I'm speaking as a citizen right now, is I have 3 grandchildren who have, their parents have been trying to get them enrolled with the Creek Nation and have to jump through hoops to get them enrolled. Even though I'm a citizen, my dad is a citizen, his mom and dad were citizens, you know, I mean, and then you have the freedmen descendants who have not even applied for citizenship, and that's my understanding, is that that's why I would say that they need to follow the same requirements to become a citizen, and that is to prove that you are a citizen of the Creek Nation.